briefing ngayong araw, September the 12th. In a sectoral meeting led by President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., various government agencies provided updates on the implementation of the Executive Order Number 39, imposing mandated price ceiling on regular and well-milled rice. Isa sa mga paraan para tulungan ang mga apektadong rice retailers ang pamimigay ng Department of Social Welfare and Development ng cash assistance sa iba't ibang bahagi ng bansa na nagsimula nitong Sabado. And to give us updates on the ongoing disbursement of livelihood grants to rice retailers, we have today DSWD Secretary Rex Gatchalian. Good morning, Secretary Rex.
Good morning, Daphne. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Thank you for having me this morning. So as mentioned, upon the President's directives, before that, let me just say that the DSWD welcomes the executive order kasi ang mga kliyente namin ang nakikinabang sa executive order na to. It's a means of social protection to protecting the most vulnerable who may not have means to buy rice at a very steep price. Na nung lumabas kayo ng executive order, una kaming nagpahayag ng suporta namin sa DSWD dahil yung mga kliyente namin, sila yung pinaka-naapektuhan kapag tumataas ang presyo ng bilihin. So yun yung una naming pasasalamat. Pangalawa, sa instruction ng ating Pangulo, naatasan kami na siguraduhin na yung kapakanan ng mga micro and small rice retailers natin mapangalagaan. Ang ginamit natin na behikulo dito, yung programa na mainstay na, matagal ng programa ng DSWD, yung Sustainable Livelihood Program. Yung Sustainable Livelihood Program, ano yan, hindi yan ginawa lang para sa pagkakataon na to, kundi talagang mekanismo yan ng Department of Social Welfare and Development para una, matulungan ng mga mahihirap, informal, vulnerable at marginalized natin ng mga kababayan na gusto maghanap buhay. Sa programa na to, binibigyan sila ng seed capital, unang mode yun. Pangalawa, build up ng kanilang kapital sa mga pagkakataon na hindi inaasahan katulad nito. So ito yung naging programa ng Pangulo para matulungan ng mga micro, small rice retailers natin. Ang bawat micro and small rice retailer ay makakatanggap ng 15,000 para ma-shore up ang kanilang kapital kasi alam naman natin yung price cap maski papano nakakaapekto sa kanilang kapital. Kaya una kaagad na pinatawag ng Pangulo ang DSWD para usisain kami kung ano ang pwede naming gawin para sa mga maliliit nating mga negosyante, yung mga small micro rice retailer natin. Kaya ito yung hinain namin at naaprubahan niya yung gamitin ito. Initially, this year, ang appropriation ng programa na to ay 6 billion pesos, of which around 5.4 to 5.3 ang natitira pa na unobligated sa kanyang pondo. That means, kayang-kaya ma-absorb yung programa na to without new appropriation. Although nagpapasalamat rin kami sa ating House, pamumuno ni Speaker Romualdez, na nung nilunsad itong SLP program para sa ating mga micro rice retailers, nagpahayag sila na maghahanap pa sila ng karagdagang pondo, almost 2 billion pesos, kung sakaling kukulangin ang DSWD. So doon nagpapasalamat kami kay Speaker Romualdez sa proactive stance nila na yon. Now, nung Sabado, nagsimula tayo sa mga sumusunod na syudad, San Juan, Caloocan at Quezon City. Kahapon, nasama na ang Parañaque, Navotas at ang Zamboanga del Sur. Total na nabigyan natin ng livelihood grant ay 474 na rice retailers na nagkakahalaga ng 7.5 million pesos. Medyo maliit pa yung catchment natin pero sa araw na to hanggang sa 14th, lalaki at bibilis to dahil simultaneous na ang payout natin sa iba't ibang riyon at iba't ibang mga highly urbanized cities. Ayon sa DTI, ang proseso kasi na naganap, DTI ang mag-a-identify, DTI ang mag-validate kasi technical expertise nila yon. At pagka may listahan na sila, pinapasa nila sa DSWD kasi kami naman yung may mekanismo at programa para sa payout. Yun yung working pattern namin ng DTI and DSWD. In fact, we have a working group that meets every other day led by Yusek Carol Sanchez ng DTI para masigurado na yung flow ng trabaho ay mabilis. Gusto ng Pangulo natin na makarating ang tulong ang livelihood grant sa ating micro rice retailers sa mabilis na panahon. On top of that, ang In the next 3 days rin, so mula kahapon hanggang sa 14th, importante sa amin na mabigay kaagad lahat to dahil mag-e-election ban rin. At bagamat nag-apply kami ng exemption sa COMELEC at nananalig kami na mabibigyan kami ng exemption, pero we cannot preempt the good COMELEC from saying na mabibigyan kami, talagang self-imposed deadline namin sa utos ng Pangulo is September 14. That should cover all the regions. Now, sa initial list na binigay ng DTI sa atin, ang kanilang naitala na mga micro and small rice retailers na nasa loob ng mga public markets and private markets na merong business permit and or DTI or SEC registration ay nasa 5,942. That's the rough list nila. Siyempre, give or take, mababawasan yan kasi patuloy na pag dumadaan doon sa proseso ng pagsasala, we make sure na walang duplicates. Bagamat sila ang nagva-validate kung rice retailer to na maliit, DSWD has a process of making sure walang duplicates. Kaya liliit yung numero na yan. But for now, it's 5,942. And ito yung mga ulitin ko, mga micro and small rice retailers na nasa loob ng mga public and private markets na meron silang business permit and or meron silang DTI registration or SEC registration kapag partnership yan. Ngayon may mga katanungan tungkol doon sa mga paano yung mga nasa labas ng mga public markets. Yan yung phase 2 naman ng programa. Patuloy na nakikipag-ugnayan ng DTI sa ating mga local government units, sa ating mga iba't ibang ahensya at private sector groups katulad ng RECON to get the list para ma-make sure natin na yung mga wala sa loob ng mga palengke na mga micro, small rice retailers mapasama doon sa mga succeeding list na ibibigay nila.
Thank you, Secretary Rex. Are there any questions? Okay, Raquel Bayan, Radio Pilipinas.
Sir, question lang po, before po ba natin ibigay yung cash assistance dun sa mga rice retailers, do we make sure po ba na ini-implement po muna nila yung price cap o basta nandun lang po sila sa listahan na binigay sa atin ng DTI?
Kami kasi wala kami sa implementing, nandun kami sa financial, sa subsidy. Pero sinisigurado sa atin ng DILG at ng DTI na yung monitoring nila at ng Department of Agriculture ay mahigpit at alam ko iniikutan nila lahat ito. And pag nagbibigay rin kami ng rice subsidy, yung livelihood grant, ini-emphasize rin natin to make sure na sumusunod sila sa alituntunin. We remind them. It's more of the power of convincing na dapat dahil tinutulungan na rin sila ng gobyerno, magtulungan tayo. Madagdag ko lang rin pala, as early as sa Friday, nag-post na sa social media accounts ng DSWD and ng DTI ng joint infographic on sino, saan, at kung paano mag-apila. Let's say, feeling mo na dapat kasama ka pero nakaligtaan ka, pwede ka mag-apply online, nandun na yung mga detalye. Or, doon sa mga payment center, yung pag nagpe-pay out kami, meron ring grievance desk na itinaguyod ang DTI. So pag pumunta doon yung isang tao at sinasabi niya, ako ay rice retailer but wala ako dito, kaagad namin kinakapture yung data ng DTI, i-verify, and then ipapasa ulit sa DSWD. So ang mensahe namin sa mga small rice retailers, antabayanan nyo ang schedule sa inyong mga lugar. Pero kung sakaling lumaan na sa inyong lugar, pero hindi kayo napasama at naniniwala kayo na dapat kasama kayo, pwede kayo pumunta sa social media accounts ng DSWD or ng DTI, nandun yung appeals process natin.
Okay. Harley Valbuena, DZME.
Hello, good morning po. Sir, I believe na nag-meeting kahapon yung officials ng DSWD and DTI to finalize the timeline nung cash payout dun po sa assistance natin. So may nabuo na po ba tayong timeline?
Yun yung nasabi namin that we have to operate on the premise that wala pa kaming exemption at this point in time. So following the law, we have to stop by the 15th. So by September 14, ang goal natin is matapos natin at least all highly urbanized cities and regions. But we did file for our exemption and we are hopeful na makuha namin yon so that pagkasakaling may spillover, kasi bigyan ko yung example, in Quezon City, plano namin bumalik kasi hindi lahat ng beneficiaries nakapunta nung isang araw. We promise that we will go back to areas na may mga hindi nakasipot na mga nasa list so that we can make sure na mabigyan rin sila ng livelihood grant. That's the basis of our appeal. The President instructed us to finish this as the soonest possible time. He likes the idea of finishing it by the 14th, pero we told him na we really want to, we have applied for an exemption in the eventuality na may mga unforeseen circumstances that will cause some delay.
Heidi Sampang, FEBC.
Good morning, Sec. Initially po, ano yung mga nakita nating challenges dun sa distribution process? Thank you.
I can only speak about the distribution side kasi the identification side, I leave that to DTI. Challenge sa side namin will be number one, yung mga beneficiaries hindi pumupunta. Because remember, these are micro, small rice entrepreneurs. Naghahanap buhay rin sila. They cannot just close their shop and come to our payout. As a solution, we started scheduling payouts during yung non-peak market times, like 1 p.m., 2 p.m., just to accommodate them. Also, we also came up with a return bout, I call it, the return dates namin sa mga areas na yon, with the hopes that they can come out. Like, nung Saturday, dahil first day yon, mga 50% lang sumipot doon sa listahan despite the LGUs reminding them. But yun nga ang common nila na kwento sa amin because the payout was at 8 a.m. on a Saturday, which is the very peak of going market day. Sabi nila, baka pwede bumalik kami sa dead time, sabihin, non-peak time nila. So that's one. Yung mga beneficiaries are not coming. Pero yesterday, I'm glad to report that near perfect. Almost everybody came because nga, we took cognizance of the fact na we have to adjust our time doon sa ano. Hindi naman kasi ito, malalaking retailers na may mga empleyado, sila rin yung nagpatakbo ng kanilang mga tindahan. So they cannot just close shop, just like that. Another difficulty that we're having, but more of DTI, but you can ask them, but because I work closely with them, we hear it. We were trying to capture as much as we can. So they spoke to Grecon, yung rice retailers group. The list of Grecon isn't as comprehensive anymore because of the rice tariffication law. Nung nawala na yung NFA sa regulation ng mga nag-aangkat ng bigas at nagbebenta ng bigas, na medyo naging loose yung listahan na yun. Bagamat meron pa rin silang listahan na ibibigay. So that's why DTI, I'm not supposed to speak for them, but wala sila dito. I can probably give you a bird's eye view of what they've been doing. They're talking to Grecon. They're also looking at other agencies like NFA's 2019 retailers list. They're talking to PSA. They're talking to SSS. They're talking to local government units. Anywhere we can get a list of micro and small rice retailers, we're making that as a rule of thumb na mapasok sila doon sa database. Talking to market masters, talking to the private sector. Importante kasi na we capture as many as we can. And that's where one of the struggles are. Kaya ang nangyayari tuloy, yung bigay sa amin ng list, which is okay with us, batch by batch.
Okay. Katrina Domingo, ABS-CBN.
Hi, sir. Sir, ano yung downside of the DSWD going to markets, stall to stall, store to store, instead na sila yung pupunta sa DSWD?
It's not very difficult for us. Remember when we do payouts naman talaga for emergency cash transfer during disasters or yung assistance to crisis to individuals in crisis situation, talagang we do it outside. We don't want them to always come to DSWD in bulk kasi nagkakaroon nga nung eksena na dinudumog yung regional office namin. Kaya kung makikita nyo yung pinost namin na anunsyo ng DTI, sinire-request namin na huwag pumunta sa DTI office, huwag pumunta sa DSWD, antayin nyo na kami ang pupunta sa inyo. Kasi kung can you imagine, pag lahat sila sabay-sabay, that's still 6,000, close to 6,000 individuals coming to us. And we also have to adjust to their peculiar circumstance. These are micro entrepreneurs. Malamang sila na rin yung accountant, sila yung tindera, sila yung lahat. So by you pulling them out of their workplace, that means one lost business day yun for them. So we really made that conscious effort na kami pupunta sa kanila.
Sir, one more question. It's similar to the fuel subsidy in the sense that you are augmenting their capital. Are there plans to have a second tranche for those na naka-receive na?
Well, at this point in time, di ba, before the President left for the ASEAN, in his departure address, he said that the price cap isn't meant to last long. So that's why we're sticking to that. by me engaging that question, that means we're already entertaining a prolonged period of EO 39, which is not the directive or the direction of the President. So kaya nga sabi niya kanina sa amin when we met, tapusin na kaagad yung distribution ng livelihood grants to shore up their capital. So ang window nga namin, natuwa nga siya na may self-imposed deadline whether by law or by ourselves na September 14 dapat tapos na kami. Pero I'm telling you right now na that may be a bit